Hi, everyone. Welcome back to She Blurs podcast. Today's guest is Jon Butcher. Hi, John.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for coming on our podcast
Thanks
today.
very much for having me. I'm really glad to be here.
So, John is an American rock, blues singer and guitarist, and a freelance multimedia producer. So, so can you let our listeners know what inspired you to pursue a music career?
I know this is going to sound strange, but I used to watch singing cowboys on television when I was a little boy.
Really?
They were old black and white movies of Roy Rogers, and he had a guitar and a horse, and he got the girl at the end. That looked pretty good to me. Yeah, I mean that's the
what,
truth.
what were these movies called? I would like to check them out. I've never heard
Yeah,
of them.
I think they used to be called serials. I lived in Alaska when I was young, and we got TV that was 10 years behind everybody else. So I was watching a lot of old cowboy and Western movies and
Oh,
TV shows, and that kind of was the inspiration for me to be interested in the guitar. That's how it started, anyway.
that's amazing. How long did it take for you to learn the guitar, like properly read notes and learn how to play and all that?
That's a really good question. I taught myself almost everything
Oh,
because I had an interest in doing it. I mean, I had 1 year of guitar lessons when
oh,
I was 9, and I really didn't like the teacher because he hit my knuckles with a ruler.
oh, wow.
Yeah, when I would make mistakes. So I gave that up and just sort of have been self-taught. And I think that was the best way for me to learn because I really was inspired to know more. I was inspired to play every day, and it was just something I think I took to.
Oh, wow. That's
My dad
amazing.
was a piano player professionally, and I didn't learn about that until much later in life. But he played piano in bars and clubs and on the bass. He was in the service, and maybe I got that from him. You know, it came from someplace, right?
You're right, right. So, what inspired you to choose the genre blues?
It spoke to me. There's something about blues music that spoke to me in a deep, fundamental way. I can't explain it. And it's been that way since I was 12. I
Oh,
listened to B.B. King and I listened to Albert King, and
mhm.
all of it spoke to me. Ray Charles, all of those men spoke to me in ways it's hard for me to understand, in a voice I didn't really decipher, but I felt it.
Mhm. That's amazing. Because I was pursuing music journalism, and that was my specific, like, what I wanted to do, blues. And I wanted
Yeah.
to, like, move to New Orleans and everything, not after what happened over there, but I wanted to move over there because
There's
of,
something there's something about blues that is truthful.
yes.
Of course, a lot of it was born out of hard work and misery
Hmm.
by enslaved black people,
Hmm.
and that origin, I think, spoke to us in ways we can't explain, but we feel passionately. And I
Yes.
think blues spoke to me in that way. And I wish I could tell you was for in some higher purpose, but truthfully, it just was. I connected to it. Some people
Mhm.
connect to art in that same way. Painting, for instance. For
Mhm.
me, it was music.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, what inspired your recently released album, Special Day?
Uh, the pandemic,
Oh,
just like a lot of musicians who weren't able to tour anymore,
mhm,
or for a year, uh, we all had to kind of reinvent ourselves and
mhm,
figure out what to do. You know, how to use the time. And for me, that meant just spending almost every day in the recording studio. I
mhm,
enjoy it. I compose music for film and TV as well, and so I'm at home when I'm recording. And
mhm,
when we weren't able to play, and
mhm,
all the shows were canceled and tours were canceled for 2020, two things happened. I My wife and I decided to grow a vegetable garden, and
Oh,
I secluded myself in the studio, and that was the beginnings of Special Day.
oh, that's amazing. So when everything starts opening back up, are you gonna go back on tour
I hope.
to promote it?
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears. Uh, you know, you watch the news like I do,
Yeah.
and you know that we're sort of teeter-tottering
Hmm.
with people who are and are not vaccinated, and it's hard to say that my business will come back full strength now. I'm hoping it does. I'm playing right now. I have a show October 9th in my area of Massachusetts. Uh, uh, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm hoping that we can keep the dates that we have on the
Hmm.
calendar right now. I hope so.
Yes, that's amazing. I hope so too. So can you tell our listeners what watercolor movies are? I've never heard of watercolor movies before.
We're new. It's a company. It's called Watercolors. And the reason why it's first of all, it's a video and film company. What we try and do is make real life short movies for artists, for musicians, for anybody who has a message to get out, and not the deep pockets to go and hire a film crew. We're
Hmm.
able to make what I think are short vignettes that have voices and speak in powerful ways. And so I've been doing that for myself for a number of years. I make my own our own music videos, and I decided to make it a business. It was another thing that sort of happened out of the pandemic of 2020.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. So what advice would you give our listeners who want to pursue a music career?
Oh boy, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm the person to give anybody advice, but I would say this: if you are like me and you can't see any other path for yourself but music,
Mhm,
and you live and you breathe it and you can't help yourself, even sometimes to your own detriment, then I would say stick with it.
yes.
And if it's a hobby, then treat it like a hobby. But for me, it never was.
Mhm,
Before I was old enough to live on my own, music had a grip on me. It
mhm.
wasn't a choice I made.
Ye-
I never chose it. It chose me.
Yes, that's amazing. Like a lot of teens and young adults that I speak to, a lot of them are afraid to pursue a music career because they're afraid, what if nobody likes it? What if I get booed off stage? What if, like, they always have like these negative comebacks? And I'm like, just think positive. Just if you
Well,
believe in your music,
you have to believe in you first. When
yes.
it comes to art and making art, everybody knows that that's not the first pathway to be rich. It
Mhm,
happens for some people, but it doesn't happen for everyone. So it has to be something else that drives you to do it. And if
yes.
that flame is burning in you, I say fan the flame.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. So I want to thank you so much, John, for coming on my podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. And thank you for letting me talk about Special Day.
Yes, I can't wait to hear it.
I hope you like it. Please let me know.
You have a great day.
Bye bye now. Thank you.
Bye. Hey everyone, I want to thank you all so much for listening to my podcast and for listening to my interview with Jon Butcher. So, he just released an album. It's called Special Day, and you can Google it and find it. It's on all platforms. So, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, it's on everything. So, I hope you all check it out and check out his website, which I did not link below, but I will attach it to this interview. So I hope you all have an amazing day, make great choices, and I want to thank you all so much again for supporting my podcast. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great day.